every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.
All right, well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of The Let Out. We have a lot of great topics for you guys today. One of the first things that we're going to talk about is the hard drugs being decriminalized in the state of Oregon, the first state to do that. In addition to that, let's talk about what's been in the news for the past week and a half, and that is the sexual scandal that's going on with T.I, Clifford Harris, and Tiny Harris. All right, but of course you have the panel here today. You got me, Chris. Got my girl Lisa in the house.
Hey.
And my guy Will here with us today.
What's good?
Sylvia's here in thought. We keep
her in thought. Sylvia's here with us.
She'll be back. She'll be back.
She has stuff to handle today, but we're gonna represent for her today.
Facts.
So really just to jump off the top of our heads, man. I don't know if y'all have seen it. I've been watching social media, and I've been really trying to figure out what the hell T.I and Tiny got going on over there. It's looking real Bill Cosby, Joe Epstein. Like what's really going on over there, man? Tiny ready to beat bitches up for her dude. You gonna get him this push?
She should. Shut up. Now, I ain't mean that now.
What?
So like, I caught a little bit of it. I caught a little bit of it where I guess he was supposed to pull a pistol or something, or it was that.
Let me give you a little bit of a breakdown.
Yeah.
So like 16 years ago, there was a lady that was a really good friends with Tiny, and she may have been a little bit in business with T.I too. I'm not sure. Her name is something Peterson.
Right.
I can't think of her first name now. It just completely eluded me. Sabrina Peterson. Mm-hmm. And supposedly T.I at some point was cheating with his assistant. I'm not sure. But the assistant was supposedly treating her Tiny like a slave. So since Tiny didn't stick up for herself, she was sticking up for her. And she confronted the assistant, and they got into a squabble, a fight. So T.I was breaking the fight up, and in an attempt to break it up and to help out his assistant, I guess, he pulled out a gun, allegedly, on the lady.
My guy's on her. There's no guns nowhere in sight.
Well, I think at the time, that might have been at the time when he still could have a gun. I'm not sure, because she said whatever silver pistol that he got arrested with at some point that was on some table was the one he put to her head. I don't damn know. But again, it was 16 years ago. So I guess Stacey Abrams appointed T.I as the voice of something of Atlanta. I don't know, Bob, you might know a little bit more about that. Mm. So when she did that, the lady then posted this comment about T.I, like, is this who you really want to be the voice of Atlanta? He pulled a gun out on me. The way she initially said it, it made it sound like he pulled a gun out on her yesterday. We ain't know it was 16 years ago.
The old T.I.
Yeah. And which is very possible, because it didn't sound like he was denying that he didn't actually pull a pistol out on her. But it was kind of like, why is it relevant today? Because, a lot of times hurt people. And so people get mad at you, and all of a sudden they start remembering old shit.
Right.
So like Tiny replies back to her. Tiny is like, damn. So now, basically like, damn, that's fucked up. Just 2 years ago, this was your man's. He was your kid's uncle, and you was having him to train them and so forth and so on. So when Tiny came to her man defense, at that point she was like, okay, well, bitch, I'm finna pull out all kind of receipts without make them up, print them myself. Shit, I'm pulling out everything. So next thing you know, the lady starts saying that basically that they be trafficking underage girls, roofing girls, that they invited other women into their bedroom, which we've all heard that.
We get that.
Together.
We get that.
We all knew that. Yeah. But these new allegations of saying that they basically are trafficking women, raping women, forcing women to be with them, I think it's a stretch. So supposedly like 17 women have allegedly come out and given their experience with them, saying that they were roofied, drugged, they woke up and they were hurting front to back. Didn't remember what happened. So that's where we're at right now. Of course, T.I and Tiny have denied all allegations.
Vehemently.
Oh, of course,
vehemently, I guess what's the word?
Vehemently.
Vehemently. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we're at right now with the what's y'all thoughts, y'all's feelings on it. I have some personal thoughts of my own, but what y'all feeling like?
All right, I honestly, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna be straight up. My guy that I'm on, I'm boosted right now, man. Ain't nobody stealing no pussy from y'all. Do y'all know how many? Like he said, and this is the reality.
Yeah.
When you're a celebrity, especially when you one that's popping, and you know, I gotta give it to my guy T.I. My guy T.I ain't no ugly dude, and we talking 15 years ago.
Right.
That man ain't gotta take pussy from nobody. Like he said, man, look, y'all coming to apply to give me the pussy. Y'all applying for it. You know what I'm talking about? They showing up to him. Look, y'all know what? Hey, it's T.I. They were like, okay, well, I'm coming. They were like, all right, you know, we passing out. You know, they just trying to get y'all in the mood.
17.
I don't think that none of them did anything other than what they wanted to do. I really don't feel like nobody backed down. And correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like at some point I heard they said that women had been there multiple times. If you go more than once and you already know what happened, all that shit's out the window. I don't want to hear about this shit happen multiple times. You can't justify that after that. Shut that shit up and keep it moving. The whole underage thing. See, I don't come off as the guy that would do that. But as far as popping pill, I definitely believe they did. Them folks been caught with pills in the car. We already knew that. Yeah, I mean they've been popping pills, smoking weed, getting drunk. We've been knew that. So for them to offer it to somebody else, that shit don't sound out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean that's a regular
party drug type thing.
That's a party. Like that's a party, and that's their type of party. So I mean, like, why would you think that something else is going to happen if that's what you're accustomed to? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
mean, take that with social media that you can accuse someone without any proof of anything to almost go ahead and completely kill their career and their name. Because I don't know what he did 16 years ago. I find it hard to believe the T.I. now, and even the T.I. then. I think he might beat a bitch ass and hit you with a pistol for sure. But back then, but I don't see, like what Chris said, I don't see him having to rape, although men sometimes who are in positions of power kind of feel like shit.
Right.
I'm taking it because I deserve to take it. Yeah. You don't give it to me. You can't start something and then stop and change your mind. We can go through with this.
Right.
So we talked about years ago how there was that gray area within the community. But I just find it weird that if he was a horrible person 16 years ago, you don't wait till you fall out with the motherfucker to go ahead and start talking shit and going ahead and revealing secrets. If he was a pedophile 16 years ago, then bitch, what the fuck are you for condoning the shit and waiting until y'all fall out and he ain't your man's no more? Now all of a sudden he raping kids.
But he a pedophile,
but you done had around your kids. You done had around your kids.
They the uncle. He the uncle to your kid, but he a pedophile.
Yes.
No,
and then you said he pulled a pistol out on you in front of your kids.
But then he came to uncle after that?
Yeah,
he came to uncle after that? Get the fuck
after
out
that.
of there. No, we ain't buying that. But one thing I think we do need to talk about, we got to talk about the best friend. What the fuck is Shekinah doing, man?
See the video. What she say? I heard that it was horrible. I heard it was so bad that she made it worse.
To it. She was going in.
She was trying to defend T.I. and Tiny supposedly, but they said the stuff that she was saying was
if we are denying these allegations, don't be the friend to be like, all right, well, let's talk about how you was helping them do the shit. What you mean helping them do? What? It didn't happen. Well, what do you mean?
I think that what she probably was referring to. I you know, it's Sinead, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Or her. It's,
what?
Whatever her name is.
Shekinah.
Yeah. So I think that, when she says, you was helping them, it may be but to helping them to get females. You know what I mean? Not saying helping them to get underage girls, like, because there's always somebody in the mix that lures. I don't know if that's the right word, but that gets the women and says,
hey, you setting up the arrangement. You are a celebrity, and you have somebody else to go ahead and to get the strippers and bring them in and so forth.
Yeah, like, bro, I'm not walking like you think T.I. supposed to be. Is he? And let's be real about it. Is T.I. supposed to be the nigga walking around the club asking the stripper, "Hey, you want to go with me? Want to go with me?" Yeah, like
no, Usher did this. I think they said Usher did the same thing. My bad, Usher. But I think he did kind of something similar. I think they were even a lot of the stars do that. I'm not gonna even just say Usher, but
you know what? They're gonna have to be a lot smarter though now. If that is the type of stuff that you into, you need to be having NDA signed, making sure that you have it worded correctly so you can't go ahead and change your mind and say a year later, 2 years later that you didn't want to be a part of it or start giving, information about it. I know that.
What does that mean though?
The way that shit works, then they're gonna be talking about, well, I was coerced into signing.
There you go.
That shit don't mean nothing either.
There you go. So you could do all of that and they still be like, well, I felt at that time that
you can change your mind about it later if you want to, but I still got this piece of paper. So legally, hopefully, that is the way to protect myself. At the end of the day, stop defiling your marriage bed anyway. But that's neither here nor there. But
I guess
but Tiana, I know Tiana, and what is her husband's name?
Absolutely.
Who?
Shamar, I don't know his name. Tiana and her.
It's talking about Strange.
Yeah, shut up.
Her and,
I know that they engage in those kind of activities too, and I don't know if these are people that they know that they're comfortable with or what it is. So sometimes it's not the best thing to do to just bring random strangers out of nowhere into your bedroom. It may need to be somebody that you have a relationship with, or you have an understanding with, and not somebody that shit'll go ahead and fuck your ass over. I don't know.
They're not fine though. The random stranger, poke it out though. Like what you
Shut up.
Random stranger over there.
Well, just understand that when you are a person of means and have a name attached to you, you got to be really careful about the company that you keep, though. Unfortunately, because
this girl proves that it don't matter if you know him or not.
It don't.
Look what she doing.
It really don't matter.
After the fact, and after she gets pissed off, she comes in with the stories from 12 BC talking about
COVID.
But it sounds like based upon her history, though, it sounds like she always been suspect.
Yeah, but you know what? That kind of just then again, I feel like that show you what kind of person you dealing with. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good as long as I'm benefiting you. But as soon as the benefit is out of the picture, yeah, you switching sides. You flaw anyway.
Hey man, I think there should be a law that if you get caught lying and something like that could give somebody 10, 20 years, you need to get a portion.
You have to go do that time.
Yeah. If nothing at worst or at minimum, you get a third of it.
Well, he's talking about he's talking about filing a lawsuit.
You get caught hey, that'll straighten some shit up.
Not really.
For sure.
If you have something to lose, but guess what? Worst case scenario for a motherfucker that lie is don't shit happen.
That's a fact. I don't get the money.
Didn't Chris Brown do that when he got accused of rape? It was in another country. I think that he ended up suing the lady. I don't know what happened with it. But he ended up suing. They ended up showing that he was never out with the lady.
You suing a motherfucker that ain't got shit.
It don't matter. It's just still to go ahead and have a level of punishment. I don't care if I get $50 from your paycheck every 2 weeks, bitch. Give me something.
Hey man, look, I'm gonna tell you something. What's in Mystical?
Yeah.
The last 4 years that he was in jail and got and they let him free just now. Like last year.
Now, I don't know. I've heard. I'm not gonna touch on that story because I've heard some different things about what happened with that one. So I don't know. She never said he wasn't guilty, and I don't think that they said he was not guilty. It was.
They said they had no proof.
Yeah, and that's a. Can we
say they had no proof?
Like at some point, America has to get back to this: you're innocent until proven guilty. Hey, if we're gonna live by that, let's get to that.
No, yeah.
Stop this whole guilty until proven innocent shit.
In this culture with social media, like Bob said earlier, when you got social media involved, it heightens and it sensationalizes it and it just makes it look like, oh, you have no chance. You have no chance at all. Like you're condemned in the eye of the public.
Is it better to address them? And that's a question for both of y'all. Is it better to address the shit or just just not say anything?
Because she was going so nonstop every day. She started doing a little series on her Instagram page called Surviving T.I and Tiny. Was trying to get the whole thing.
I wouldn't say shit.
He needed to say something.
Nah.
It was getting out of control.
But yeah, because now you have breathed life into the shit. I can.
No, it was life in it already.
Nope, I wouldn't, because what happens is you give green lights to people who feel like all I got to do is this, and they're gonna believe it. And I can, they're gonna respond at some point.
Same thing, though, when what's the little man name? Tory Lanez wasn't saying anything with the whole Megan thing. Everybody was like, shit, well, she must be telling the truth because your ass ain't saying shit. Not thinking that maybe it's his attorney saying, hey, shut your ass up.
That's what I told you. That's what I'm saying.
That was fucking with his money and his livelihood.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
But you know what? We be thinking this money and livelihood shit when the shit really be so. If the shit run a whole month, if the shit is a news, if it's a thing for a month.
He claimed he lost on $10+ million within a time frame when all of that stuff was going on, and he wasn't saying nothing as far as like different deals and things of that nature.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if you can lose $10 million. I won't lose $10. $10 million.
I think he got it.
He got money, but
I think he got it.
But he got good money. I mean, but here's the thing, man. Yeah, like what you're saying is, at the end of the day, I think ignore it. Yeah. I think ignore it. I will
ignore it, but when you start going ahead and saying that I'm raping women, I'm fucking underage kids, we out here drugging people.
No, it don't matter. You know why? You know why it matters? Because the people that's listening to it make it matter. So if you stop and just say, look, I'm not gonna address it, you know why? Because you don't address things that you 100% know that aren't true. It just brings light to this person and gives them what they're looking for.
I think that also because he is now also affiliated himself with government officials and really trying to go ahead and to be for the people. With that position that he has put himself in, or that we have put himself in, he needs to speak and he needs to address it. Yes,
he ain't running. He has to address it. He ain't running for no office. It is what it is. He ain't running for shit.
Hey man,
T.I act like he running for office. He be in the midst of everything that got to do with Atlanta. So he act like he run for office, and everybody allows him to act in a position as if he is in office, and his voice does carry a lot of weight.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, for the most part, let's get off of T.I. and let's say T.I situation. Let's just say, period, stars and stuff like that. Like when somebody make an allegation about you like that and you know it's not true, I don't feel like you are obligated to say shit about it. Like, because now if there's some truth and there's like a lot of people coming out and people are saying something and you did wrong, then what that's called is your skeletons or your darkness coming into light. I get that, but it's only how much power you give to it. I think in certain situations, a lot of situations, stars don't have to say
shit. I think we thinking on our level. That's like somebody coming to your job and they spreading rumors. Like this is much bigger than somebody telling your supervisor, your manager, or your coworkers sitting beside you. Like this is going out to the millions of their fans. People he could have endorsement deals with. Other politicians that he rubs arms with, like his platform and what he does is so big. He needs to address it.
I get it, because I mean he got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of affiliations, but at the same time, sometimes. And
then you drag my wife into it. My wife.
PR.
You saying she did it too? Fuck you! I'm gonna go ahead and say something.
Nah, I wouldn't say shit. I just go I have PR.
I mean, but you know what? But I think they got what's happened is. Let me get my thought together. What I want to say. I think that there may be truth to maybe some of the things that have happened, but y'all paint this shit to be a different picture than what it is.
Facts.
Do we fuck hoes together? Yes. Do we do drugs? Sometimes yes.
Yes. 2 out of 3.
But yeah, we probably do all that. But you paint the
But everyone has always known that, so there was nothing. There was nothing new.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the point I'm saying. Like, why are we even entertaining things that we, for one, 2 out of the 3 we already knew The third one sounds
because when they spin it as to a,
that's how you did. You
bring
painted
this
it
up,
as a
when they
picture that
spin
it
it
was.
into a protect Black women type thing and believe Black women, when you spin it that way, you can go ahead and gain public sympathy and empathy and start trying to garner that attention towards you. So when you
the
do
public
that, yeah,
sucks
he needed
in
to
a
speak
nutshell.
up.
Yeah. So
In the nutshell, the public sucks. I hate the public. But anyway, not really. But it is what it is, man. It is.
So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah,
we will. We'll see how it plays out. Okay. What's the next topic, sir?
So the next thing that I think we should go ahead and touch on is let's touch on Oregon and this decriminalizing the hard drugs. I think what was it? Cocaine, heroin, Oxycontin. Yeah, it was like a lot like the opioids.
Right.
So they've decriminalized that, and I think now they are moving it to a fine and possibly having to do rehab.
Yeah, it's more. It's you're right on the money, but it's for let's get it right. It's for small amounts. So you know how you look at a crackhead, you be like, damn, my man just wanted to smoke it. He got 30 years. But if it's a small amount, then
personal use.
Right.
Now, you can't be pulling up with 1,000 pills in the car.
Now you 1,000 pills, you distributing. So it's like you in a whole nother level. Now we talking something else. But basically what it says is like instead of those found in possession, they will face $100 fine and a health assessment that could lead to
$100 fine.
$100 fine.
I mean, but let's keep it honest.
But that's small amounts. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So let's keep it honest. Most people that are addicted, them folks ain't doing well. They're not doing well. And
so $100
huh?
See, you'll get it when you get it.
Well, I missed that. What you say?
No,
you know, with them, you'll get it when you get it.
Man, I swear.
That's a fact.
You know, they owe everybody already anyway.
Exactly. They already owe everybody. So let's not even make up bullshit. Matter of fact, I'm finna get even more with the shit now because now you asking me for something ignorant about you know I ain't coming up with. That's just like when you hear of people who get out here getting charged with petty crimes and have $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 restitution and shit. Nigga, if you think they had that much money, you think these folks be out here stealing shit? Nah.
Yeah. They be looking at the TV like that Vizio ain't but 400. Shit.
But I'm gonna run at the store with this hoe. But now you got $300,000 of restitution. Man, please, you folks ain't crazy, man. But the reality of it is, I gotta. And I think that this is true. And I think, and honestly, I kind of applaud them a little bit for, taking that step in the direction that they're going because I don't think people choose to be addicted. You know, I think they try shit, and before you know it, you
trying something knowing that it's addictive. But okay, I don't know what you're saying.
No, you choosing it. You choosing it. You choosing it.
Ain't no way that I don't think that if I hit some meth real quick, that's it. Let me try a little bit of your meth real fast.
But you know, I think it's so many people out here that try shit to say that they tried it, and before you know it, like I'm addicted.
Well, if you that motherfucking dumb, you probably need 30 years in jail.
Hey, but I'm retarded. This is a question. This is a question that's kind of off. Well, it's on topic, but if you give a person and allow somebody to smoke crack, and they don't know that they're smoking crack, how do they know to go smoke crack again? You know what I'm saying?
I am signing off.
I'm just saying, if I give you a crack pipe and say, this is a hookah. If I put crack in the hookah, and you be like, this is a goddamn good hookah.
I mean, I would assume that when you try to get high again and it does not have that same effect.
So you ain't trying any goddamn thing.
You gotta try something else to go ahead to get you to that same level because you know you fiending.
Motherfucker going to process the elimination of drugs.
But I've heard of people talk like that. Like, remember DMX said that happened to him. He was smoking weed with the older guy, and he didn't know the guy put. I don't know if it was crack. I don't know the different drugs. I apologize, but I don't know what it was that the guy put in the weed. But he was saying that after he did that, it got him addicted. And you remember he was crying, he was all upset by it. So Somehow or another, you be knowing.
I mean, but he
I don't
didn't
know
know
what
what
it
it was. He just, like you
It's
said,
crack
Will.
reflexes. I don't know.
You
What you
chasing
put
a
in
habit.
there?
You don't know how to get to that motherfucker.
What you put in there, man?
But
Man, no.
like
I
you
don't know.
talking to try everything there.
And
That damn question, that's crazy as hell. I gotta ask somebody. Somebody, if you have been on drugs and somebody has given you crack without you knowing, please hit us up in the comments and let us know how you need to get some more crack.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm just saying, like, do you
I don't know. I
you
can
how
answer
do you
that. I have
chase
no
something
idea.
and you don't know what you're chasing, though? I mean, but that's a for me, that's a serious question.
No, real
I'm
talk.
gonna have to Google that shit because that's
Yeah,
deep.
like
I don't know.
how does that work?
I want to know, like, what you said before. Like, I've always wanted to know, outside of whatever we saying,
Yeah,
we're assuming.
yeah.
But I always want to know. I wanted to know what makes you know. You know what I'm saying? That something is that way, and you still go try it.
I think people
I
say,
watched some different documentaries on.
Than like they could, people feel like they can try that shit once, and I'm stronger than that. I'm not gonna get it. It's not gonna happen to me. I think that's what people think. It won't happen to me.
But you know what? I don't even think that. I think that people just be like peer pressure be a motherfucker sometimes.
Niggas
like,
don't never say I want to be.
What I saw, it was a documentary, and it was kind of based around where I live at. Apparently, where the highways and interstates go is a good way to go ahead and be able to traffic drugs. So they did a documentary out here not too long ago, and the women on there, it was mostly women that I saw that were talking about the drugs. Was talking about one, that the regular drugs was no longer getting them high, and they needed something more because they were looking for an escape. And I don't think that they really realized that the way that they were going to get addicted to it is how she sounded like, she was going to get that addicted. You're going to fiend for it and want some more, but not to the point where you're willing to sell your body, be homeless, be estranged from all of your family. So it don't just be peer pressure, excuse me. People really be out here just really trying to try some shit because regular stuff is gradual.
Just stupid.
But
didn't do it no more.
They just be really out here stupid.
But this is gonna make me ask another question. And for me, this is honest to God true. And this is why I have never tried nothing. My thing is this: shit got to be good as hell for you to be like fuck that. I'm gonna be homeless for that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, real talk.
Like I'm gonna be homeless. I ain't gonna eat for that shit.
Man, for you to let a nigga ride in your car for $25. Think about that. You rent your car. You don't win enterprise on a motherfucker for $25 worth of crack, and you don't get your car back for 2 months. And don't give a fuck. You walking to your next hit, but that hit you don't give a fuck. And we ain't even talking about the other shit that they do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? For they like you got to be insane.
But that was a black guy that was on Judge Mathis. If I find, I'm gonna send it to y'all. And his brother was suing him. And the brother he was suing was shit. He was a crackhead.
Yeah.
But he still kind of functioned a little bit. And so he was like, shit, just let us do our crack and leave us alone. And Judge Mathis was like, well, at one point he was in college, and that's when he started experiments. And he was like, but you don't have a job, you homeless, you didn't finish school. And dude was like, but I'm happy.
Well,
he said, all I want to do is get high. And he said, I'm happy doing just that.
So let me ask you this. That brings to it's not a surprise topic, but it just popped in my head. But basically, when we talk about people and being happy, right? Should we just leave people alone, regardless of what makes them happy, as long as it ain't detrimental to somebody else or harmful to somebody else?
I think so. Like,
but the problem with that, though, is with drugs is when they don't get access to the access to money to get the drugs. Like this guy, he had no money for the drugs, so you begging and bumming off of everybody. You stealing from motherfuckers. So when it gets to that point, yes, I can't just be about you being happy, because it is impacting other people, because you need drugs. You don't have the money for it, so you're willing to rob, steal, and kill Will for it in order to get it.
Not really. I'm not, like, for me, Will, and I think Will, I feel like me and you talked about this. I just mentioned it one time. Nigga, have you ever been to Venice Beach in LA? Them are the happiest homeless people I done ever fucking seen ever.
Yeah. I mean,
when you on drugs, and not saying that all of them are, but when you on drugs, is shit really
No,
bothering
I just
you?
think like food.
They
It's
always
beautiful as
chasing
fuck
the
out
next
here. I
high.
ain't
Though that
worried
was the
about
one thing that
fucking-
they talked about on that video, was always chasing the next high.
I don't
Yeah,
even
but
think
that's
They're
they're supposed to
everybody
be
constantly
has
in
high.
different
pursuit.
highs, though,
They
right?
never want to be not high.
But
I
that's
don't think they're
everybody,
supposed to
though.
be high,
Everybody
though.
just has a different high. So
Yeah,
that's
like I don't even think it's drug high. Like I think it was just like, nigga, I'm happy. Like I'm not stressed out about shit.
No
You don't want to
bills.
go to work. You don't want to have to pay all them goddamn bills. You don't want to have to deal with them badass kids. But guess what?
I mean,
I'm
when
sitting out
somebody
here on
want
the
to live and be
motherfucking
homeless,
beach.
to me, that's different. That's your
No,
choice. You know,
no,
teenagers run away all the time and sometimes live on the street.
Nigga,
And want to do that for whatever the reason is. I'm not saying the ones who are forced to have to go, but some of the ones they want to do that. For
Like,
what
But what
reason?
about happiness?
I
though?
don't know.
yeah,
But
like
what about
them
happiness,
motherfuckers is
period?
sitting
Like,
on
what
the
if-
beach all day smoking weed and panhandling. Like,
Hey, man,
motherfucker, I ain't worried about shit.
I'm happy. And that's the thing, like, and that's where most
Don't
things.
nobody for the most part really bother them. It's just certain areas where you can't go ahead and panhandle and be at.
I get it,
Shit.
but at the same time, you know, they're happy doing that. Should we just lead them to like
Who
and that's
doesn't
what, like I said,
want to?
that's with anything. If can we just like accept that the things that we don't find normal makes other people happy?
You can do what the fuck
You
you
okay
want to
with
do. I
that?
can talk about that shit, but you can do it.
Right? No, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, but why are we talking about it if they're happy? Because the number one thing that we as people want is happiness. Everything that we're doing that we consider normal, going to work, taking care of kids, whatever, that we consider normal, that is what we consider happiness, and we feel like that's
I
cool.
don't think my 8 to 5 is considered happiness. Shit, I'm tired as hell. I told y'all when we came on the podcast, I was worn the fuck out.
No, I know, but I'm saying,
Your
I'm
text
saying
message
though,
was retarded though.
but no, like even with that though, Alicia, with
Hoeing all 2021.
you're doing those things that make you unhappy.
Don't say nothing to me because I just want to be happy.
Hey, but you know, I thought about that though.
But you're going to work and you're doing those things ultimately to get happy. So yeah, you're unhappy in the moment, but the ultimate goal is to attain happiness.
I want to happy like 10 hours a day. You right.
Right, but you got you know another 14 that, well, you know what I'm saying, you're happy sleeping and you
Now I
up.
be sleep the other hours, 8 hours.
Nah,
You know, and that's another
gotta
topic.
deduct.
That's another topic for another day. We probably need, and I feel like it's almost a spinoff of me asking, do people live too much in the moment? But it's kind of the same thing. Like if you only enjoying 4 hours of the day,
right.
like what the fuck? What I mean, what's the priority here? What's your priority? If you working to be happy, if you working all day to only be happy for 4 hours of the day,
Are you happy?
are you hustling backwards? Yeah, what you doing?
Are you happy, man? Like now, like nobody's gonna find it because people that have everything and then they still don't be happy. But then these people do drugs and we condemn them and say, "Oh, you just like you the scum of the earth and all of that." I'm not saying we say that, but some people treat them like that because they're on drugs or because they're homeless and things like that. But again, that's their
$1 billion.
we should respect.
The fuck out about everything.
I'm not going
Right.
to say respect there because you also have families of people who are on drugs. In those families, their kids and so forth, so are also impacted if they have extended family and children who are being neglected and have to be raised either on the streets, drug addicted. So
Right.
if you want to do that, you need to be single, detached from your family, have no kids, and then do what the fuck you want to do. But when you drag other people down with
is
your
it ever
shit,
too late to be happy?
those single
Is it
drug
ever too late
addicts,
to be happy?
you said
What
what?
if you got all that? Be like, you know what? This shit don't make me happy. I think
What your
that other
kids
shit
and all that stuff?
huh?
I mean,
Yeah,
that's unfortunate. That's a decision you have to make before you decide to go ahead and have kids.
well,
Is
you
I
know, you
wanna be
don't know what
fucked
you
up
get
on
into
drugs.
until
Come on,
after you
dog.
got
You
into
don't know
it.
we. Come on, dog. You gotta be realistic.
No, I'm serious. Like, I would hope that if I ever decided to get on drugs or do some dumb shit
Ever.
like that, I would do it. I would actually be able at some point to have enough soundness of mind, and I guess you wouldn't because you're on drugs. So I wouldn't want to procreate and have kids and to go
Zoom.
ahead and pass the trauma
Zoom.
onto them.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, look, this has been another great episode of the Let Out. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Come back for another one next week. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yo.
Yeah,
And
we
comment,
signing out. It's
goddammit.
your boy Chris.
Shut up. There's no track. She was like, yeah, cause Zoom.
Zoom, zoom.
All right, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
man. Next episode. Come back,
Yeah.
Sylvia. We need you next week.
Sylvia.
Yes.
Okay.
Every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.